Today's episode is repairing this Nostalgia popcorn maker. This is the RKP630, and inside here it had a very dirty popcorn bowl. This is the finished product right now. It's cleaned up, and as you can see, I've made some popcorn. So go ahead and take a watch and see how I disassemble this whole thing. As you can see here, it tips out. We remove it and clean and have it operational again. Okay, here we go. Spring clip. Spring clip is here with this notch to the flat head. This barrel rolls. The gear is on there somehow. To come down, this notch is away from that. So, we have some, I have to get this Allen wrench. So we have a set screw in here. Then underneath, remove all that. Here's the gunk. So you're gonna have to probably unscrew that. And these come off, so the whole assembly, and then down in there. So here's the internals. Here's the bowl. There's the heating element. Here are the internals of this Nostalgia popcorn maker. We got this used, and look at that. That is disgusting. This would not churn. Okay, this goes to the main assembly, and on here is where you have the set screw and the churning knob, and then up here is the gear and the C-clip. So I'm gonna boil this in some water right now, because as you can see here, like it is caked. This needs to be free moving. And this needs to be able to move around, spring down to apply pressure to this, and it can't do it. And it's gummed up, and that's why I cannot operate the machine. So we're gonna clean it up today, and then reassemble it, and see if it gets we get it working again. This Nostalgia brand popcorn maker. So as yours is gunked up as mine is, I have removed the top two nuts here. That's what you see there. And I have pulled out the assembly. Here it is. This goes through here. Okay, that goes through there. And I unbolted it. And here is the spring assembly. As you can see here, that's where the set screw goes on top to hold piece. And this thing is, whoo, that is gunked on there. That's all gunk. Look at the gunk down in here. This whole thing needs to come apart, be fully degreased. Who knows how many cycles this has gone through. This is excessive, and then obviously of age, the oil has solidified. So I'm gonna go ahead and pry this off and pull back this collet or bushing, and whatever you want to call it, and then this washer, the spring, which is completely solidified in there and gross, which is holding at the end of this rod, the mechanism that spins inside the container. So here we go. We'll see what we can do. Okay, I got the bushing off, and lo and behold, what's holding all this together? Another spring clip. Can you see it? It's so caked. So there's I'm gonna take that off, and this whole spring assembly is gonna come apart. But that is why we can't get rotation. There's no play in this at all. This is supposed to be applying downwards pressure. It is just completely locked up, and that's what's catching the gear at the top, causing it to bind and not spin and make popcorn. Okay, here we are. Start from the top. So this is the assembly, and in that assembly, this screws in from the bottom. Okay, so I ended those screws because it's underneath the shaft. Okay, up here's the set screw and the gears. Anyways, pulled this out, slid that off of here, then saw the C-clip, removed that, oops, then slid this off of here, and then here's the spring, pulled that off of there, and then the spring sits inside here, which depresses down the shaft and spinner. And man, and I've cleaned some of this. It was way worse. So now we're gonna degrease everything, and then I'll lay out this whole assembly along with the bowl on how it goes together. Okay, as we're cleaning parts, this is the upper element. This has a Teflon ring. Okay, if you're tuning in, here we are. This is the disassembly and cleaning of the Nostalgia popcorn bowl. So here what we have is laid out. This is the shaft, and on this shaft, to start disassembly of it, you have the top C-clip, a bushing, and the gear, which sit here on this shaft. There's a lip so it doesn't fall down. Further down the shaft here, you have this secondary bushing with a set screw and a washer underneath it that I couldn't even tell that there washer was on there because it's caked on so hard. And that sits in here. And all of that sits on top of this plate, okay? And that is screwed into the bowl with one screw and two screws. So those screws go here. Here's the bowl, one screw, two screws. That sits on there. From there, when that rod goes through the plate, it comes over to here. So we have the rod. This is where we're gonna have to start working from the backwards up. You have, so the plate would be here, and then this bushing is pushed up through and screwed into the plate with these two screws and nuts. And then you have another spring clip that's held on there, and that is holding back this bushing, which I think it's this orientation, is pressing down on the spring, and the spring is pressing down inside of here on the top. It's pressing this down, and inside of here, this is slipped on. You have the stirrer. So that's the complete disassembly of the bowl. I'm gonna go ahead and start reassembling it and show some pictures as I go, or some video. Okay, I'm gonna start reassembly, and how I'm gonna do that is first take this and, oops, I'm gonna slide that through here. There's the bottom arm. Then I'm gonna take this, slide it over the top. It sits on the arm, like so. Then we're gonna take the spring. Spring goes over the top, sits down on the arm. Then we take this, and man, it was so caked up, and I forgot to take a photo. I'm pretty sure this is gonna go just like that, because you want spring tension there. And now there's where this clip comes into play. So I'm gonna depress this by hand. What we have there is the bottom piece. It's gonna stir. We have that now set. We have some play and movement in there. So this can do that. It could not do that before. Now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna slide this piece on. And this is gonna go into the next assembly piece. That bushing's back in. This is all assembled. It's gonna go back through here. Okay. Now we have the next bushing right here. As you see where the set screw goes, there was this little tiny Teflon washer. Very difficult to clean, and I could not even see it on this piece when I was removing it. So this piece looks identical on both sides in diameter. I don't think it has a top or bottom. I'm gonna place this little tiny, since it's rotating there, that's what it's for, is so it doesn't wear against that brass bushing. I'm gonna push up on it, and this is a 2.5 millimeter set screw that goes down. You have the flat face. Here's the flat face of the shaft. Put it there. 2.5 millimeter Allen. Put that there on the shaft. Some on the gear face. Side up. Fits right on there. Have our bushing, goes on there. And then the last piece of this whole assembly, a snap ring again. All right, haha, that's awesome. This would not rotate when we started. Now, let's go on to the bowl. Here's the bowl. Okay, this I did not take apart. I think I started unscrewing one of it. You don't need to. This goes to the bottom of the bowl with a bunch of wires. I'm not going to disassemble it to show you that, but if your heating element was off, inside here, you see this, there's a rubberized gasket all the way around the bowl. That I removed and I cleaned it. You have one hole on one side, two on the other. That's for placing this. Bam. All right, that's assembled. Let's go over quickly what I used to disassemble all of this. I told you first, I have right here a 1/8 flathead. I like that better than the PH1 Phillips because the Phillips was starting to strip the very soft screws. So that's my recommendation for the flathead. I have a pair of long tip needle nose pliers, which as you can see, screwing nuts and bolts underneath the bowl. Long tip needle nose is very helpful. A 2.5 millimeter Allen. Only time you use it was for the set screw. A small flathead to pry off the spring clip or C-clips. And then at the beginning of it, I was just using a regular Phillips steel brush. A steel brush was absolutely necessary. It's just caked on there with. Okay, I have plugged it back in. That just unplugs, and then we're gonna put it inside our popcorn maker, hang it up on the rack. This handle, you screw counterclockwise to get out. That means you screw it in by going counterclockwise. As you can see, it's threading in there now. And now we have that. It's here. All right. It's working. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. It works now. We're gonna heat up the element, and there we are. We're popping popcorn. It's working very well. It says continue to let the popcorn pop, and then overflow there. It's coming out the back side. It's pushing up on its own, and then when it says it's done popping the kernels, as it is now, go ahead and turn the motor off, and we're gonna go ahead and dump it with using the handle. The last of our popcorn here. And so there you go. That's about the batch that we made. And we open it up. We have some hot, fresh popcorn here. Oh boy, that looks good. A just reward for cleaning that out today.